Okay, Greg. First and foremost, I'm all about the story and the narrative and whatnot. So talk to me about the story. I know you're not completely through it thus far. It seems like you're about like halfway. So give me your impressions on what you're seeing thus far.
The storyline is pretty solid. It's pretty good. It's entertaining. Basically, it's in the samurai era, and the great thing about the game is it's based off of the actual invasion from the Mongols that happened in the 13th century. So the story is about your character, who is Jin Sakai, and your entire village is ransacked by the enemy, which are called Mongols. But basically, it's about one man's journey on revenge and also fighting for his people. And throughout the game, you're learning on how he became who he is, and then also the decisions that he has to make to save basically everyone. A lot of it is going against his teachings, his code, his honor as a samurai. So he has that inner struggle, but at the same time, he's trying to do what's right without compromising his honor.
So how many hours would you say you're into the game thus far?
Right now, I would say I am anywhere between 10 and 12 hours into the game. But I have been doing a lot of side missions and things like that. Once something pops up, I'm like, oh, let me explore that. So I haven't really been sticking strictly solely to the storyline, but it seems like how the story is actually unraveling, I might be halfway through. I'm not sure.
When I think about a game like this, it reminds me immediately of Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was just like, for those who haven't played it, obviously you're years behind, you need to play it.
Right.
But for those that have played The Witcher 3, the side missions were amazing by and large. How does this compare to the experience in The Witcher 3 when it comes to side missions?
So far, like all the side missions that I've encountered have been different. Some games that have side missions where it's just, hey, save this person out of the burning fire or arrest this person. And it's just the same thing over and over and over again. But for me, so far, it hasn't been that mundane. Every experience has been different. There has been happy endings to some of the side stories, and then some of the side stories it leave you with your mouth dropped, like, oh, I can't believe that just happened. So I've been thoroughly enjoying them, and that's why I don't mind straying away from the story to tackling on these actual side missions.
So what I'm also interested in is the mechanics, the combat mechanics. This is obviously a game about being a dope ass samurai, right? So being a dope ass samurai has to be done well in this game, mechanically,
Right.
So from what I've seen, it looks great. But tell me about what you have experienced as an actual player.
Oh man, it did a great job immersing. I feel immersed with the actual character. I feel like a samurai. That's number one. But the other great thing is as they preach in the actual game, the way of the samurai, you have to be patient, you have to be diligent, you really have to be patient. If you just go in swords blazing, you can get killed very easily. But if you're a patient player, you're more reactive instead of just trying to be so aggressive, then you can come on top, with great ease.
What about the weapons? Like how does that system work, and maybe even how is that different from other games that we've seen out there?
Okay, so I mean, as far as for the weapons, there's different kind of weapons that you can get. Like, so you have your sword, then you have like a small katana that you can use to assassinate people. Then you can get a long bow, a short bow. You can get like these ninja stars. You can get like little bombs. You get flame arrows. But the progression system is that, once you get a certain amount of points, you can unlock one thing. And then there are other kind of things that you can unlock, such as different combos, different types of special moves you can unlock. So for an example, you can always assassinate one person, but then once you progress, and then you can unlock multiple assassinations. So that way you can assassinate two people at a time. Then once you get to another level, you can choose to assassinate three people at a time. Now, as far as for like the actual weapons, they have a different system where when you have enough resources, you can upgrade them to make them stronger. So you can make your bow stronger. You can make it more accurate. You can draw down faster, but that costs currency in the game and different types of currency. So like leather, iron, different supplies, flowers, and then you can even do stuff cosmetically where you can actually change the look, and different looks might have different attributes as well. So for one samurai outfit, it might keep you heavily guarded, where another one where you won't be as guarded, but you move 15 to 20% faster.
So you talked a little bit about like the armor, and we got a little bit into the weapons, but like I'm really curious about the AI. I've seen some footage online. Some folks have been like, oh, the AI is solid when it comes to just general combat, but when it comes to stealth, the AI gets a little wonky. What's been your experience so far?
I would have to say I almost agree with that, because when you're in battle, they're aggressive, they'll try to flank. But when it comes to the stealth, the game is not really that difficult, So I feel that there's no real point on using stealth if you're pretty good at the actual combat. For an example, just like any other game, when an enemy kind of see you, it gives you a second to actually get out of the way. But this one is a little bit too forgiving, whereas you can literally be standing in the enemy's line of sight and nothing will happen.
So the AI seems like it's solid, but it's got some definite shortcomings. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But is it challenging though? Like I feel like it seems like you weren't all that challenged. I mean, obviously I've gamed with you for years now. You are an exceptional gamer. But like, how difficult was it? Would you say?
Now this doesn't break the game because the game is amazing. I feel that it is amazing, but this game is just not difficult for me. And I started it on hard. Normally when you start it on hard, especially at the beginning when you don't have anything unlocked, you don't have any new moves, all that kind of stuff, it should be fairly difficult where you're dying several times, and I'm just not getting that. Like the most that I've died is maybe 1 or 2 times, and the battles are quick, so I can just jump right back into it. But here's a perfect example on why I say it's not difficult. There's other games that when you put it on the hardest difficulty, such as Sekiro. There's one difficulty, and it's just an extremely hard game, made by the people who made Dark Souls. They're known for making difficult games. And for that game to be great, and it was so difficult, to me, I loved it because every single battle that I was in was rewarding when I won. Same thing with God of War. When I had it on the hardest difficulty, I think it was like God mode or Spartan mode. Even the small minions was killing me over and over and over again, which for the average gamer, that could be frustrating. But for me, it was very rewarding that I was able to do something that many people couldn't.
Swag.
Right,
swag.
Man, I'm telling you, it feels good. I'm telling you, so it was amazing to actually accomplish those battles, even the small battles. With this one, you get a choice between easy, medium, and then hard, but hard doesn't feel that way. Like I said, like when I go into these different battles, the most I've died is maybe 2 times, 3 at the max if it was like a boss, but even still, it's not really that challenging.
And you honestly feel like that is a reflection of the game? Like that's not the game, presenting enough of a challenge to the average gamer, and not, you're just dope. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. For the people who are listening to this, this man is good. He's very, very good. I've literally been gaming with him for the past 10 years. He's great. It
might have been longer.
So I'm not. That might be a little longer.
Because now that I think about it, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out 10 years ago.
I'm dating myself.
Since San Andreas. That was what, 20 years ago?
No, dude, come on. It's not been
Think
that
about
long.
it. When did San Andreas come out? Hold on, wait. Okay, we met when I was like 11. We've been gaming since then. San Andreas came
Oh,
out like maybe
jeez.
5. Think about it. Yeah, it's been a minute.
But I'm 34 now. Yeah, no, low key.
Yeah,
Low
it's been a
key.
minute.
Jeez,
And
wow.
I've been on Monster ever since. So
No, you have.
but no,
We'll have to talk to people about our dodo plane incident that we had
yeah,
at like
Grand Theft Auto.
like 5 in the morning.
That's a whole
San
nother
Andreas.
conversation.
That's a
Good
whole
time,
other
good
conversation
time.
for sure.
But I'm not tooting my horn when I say it's not difficult. Like overall, I don't think this game is difficult. But like I said at the beginning, don't take it for the lack of difficulty not being fun. Like I'm still having an amazing time. I'm still enjoying it. That's just my one gripe is that I'm not getting that sense of, oh my God, I can't believe I just beat that. Even with the horde of 20 people that I killed, it's like, okay, you like that was to be expected because it's not that difficult.
That's really interesting because I wonder how many other people are having a similar experience when it comes to the difficulty, and if they actually know that. And I don't know if that could be like patched or not even patched, but just like maybe in a DLC, there's like a new mode, like you're talking about, where you don't get stuff like that. They make the game less forgiving.
Yeah.
And if that it's basically raising the stakes.
Yeah. Like if they came up with a mode where it was like you can't regenerate health. Like the only time you regenerate health is like once a battle is over, and then once time elapsed, then you regenerate health. But during a fight, you can't regenerate health. That will be a game changer. It will literally change the whole dynamic of the game. Because then I'm making different decisions like, okay, I have to go through this entire thing without getting hit or without dying. So I see there's 20 people. Let me cut down some of these people. Let me stealth kill 5 of them. Stealth kill as many as I can. So that's the thing where it's because it's so forgiving. I could just rush in and do my thing.
Okay, so we're like tail end of July. We'll be in August before we know it. I think it's fair to maybe ask if we think this game is a contender for Game of the Year. Do you think this game measures up? Do you think it'll be in the running, in the conversation for what we've seen out of 2020 thus far?
I think it will be in the conversation. Honestly, this is how I would say it. If it came out last year, I think it would have had a great shot. But because of games like The Last of Us, again, The Last of Us literally pushed the envelope. It pushed the capacity to the PlayStation 4 to a place that I didn't think it can go. It has done miraculous things. And then also the story was great. The game was extremely long. So they packed a lot into it. So I think it's going to be extremely hard to contend with The Last of Us. And then there's some other games that were amazing as well, such as Final Fantasy, that had that nostalgia that they capitalized on, but they did it in such a way that it felt like you was playing a brand new game, and the graphics was great, story was great. So I think it will be in the conversation, but to actually take the W on becoming the Game of the Year, nah, I don't think so.
So it's safe to say that you think that The Last of Us 2 is going to win Game of the Year.
See, here's the thing. PlayStation 5 is dropping this year. And then Spider-Man Miles Morales is dropping this year. And then there's so many other games that's dropping this year. You got Cyberpunk that's coming out this year.
I was just about to say Cyberpunk. I think we got to watch out for Cyberpunk.
There's a lot of games that's coming out. So if they keep it to a PlayStation 4 and then PlayStation 5 have their own game, then yes, I think Last of Us is going to win it.
Corona obviously has had an impact, but like Watch Dogs Legion is still coming out. And then,
that too.
Not that I don't know, I'm willing to be surprised, but I don't think Marvel's Avengers will be Game of the Year. But who knows?
Who knows?
Like
for me, I'm
was amazing.
About it. Yeah, it could be it could be the Avengers. For all we know, and that's supposed to be dropping in a few months too. Or no, the beta is dropping.
So, what's your final word? Do you? I feel like I already know what the response is, but is this a buy situation? Is this a wait situation? Just guessing, I feel like you're going to say buy. But I will note that you did not say that it has a multiplayer.
Correct.
I would
Correct.
guess is probably an interesting element in whether or not you feel like you need to buy it or not. Because I
Right.
mean, I would imagine there'll probably be a sale in a few months and stuff like that. So is it more attractive to wait if there's nothing like super compelling to, say that maybe you want to buy this now because all your friends are on it and y'all gonna hang out and have a good time? Curious what you think.
It's an amazing game. Like even though I said what I said as far as like my gripes about it, the difficulty, it's still an amazing game. I feel that it's definitely worth the $60.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you can wait because there's no multiplayer aspect on it. So you don't have to really compete. You don't have to be the first one to get it and get as good as possible to compete against other people.
Yeah.
But I think this game deserves the $60. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it
Support
has
the effort.
Yeah, to support the effort, to support the industry, to support Sucker Punch Studios. I really think it deserves the $60. So whether you do it now or later, it's up to you. But I really think this game deserves the $60. It's been a few purchases that I've done where I was like, man, I could have waited. This is not one of those games. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like, I'm ready to jump off this interview so I can go play. Now there is an enhanced edition where you get extra bonus content. I think it's like $70. I bought that.
Yeah.
And what I will say is, I don't think I needed that. Yeah, they give you a soundtrack. I'm not gonna really listen to that. Then they also give you a lot of like behind the scenes, like visual art, like drawings and concept art. So if you're into art and concept art and things like that, then boom, drop that $10. But if you don't care about that, don't drop that extra $10. I think
I've always been curious by people who make those purchases to get the extra thing, because I mean, unless like I recently picked up GTA 5 on PC, and I did the premium version of it, which I think was all that was available on Steam. But it made sense to make that buy because the extra money actually impacted my gameplay.
Right. You either got extra money or extra stats or stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, I don't know if, I appreciate art, but like, I don't know if I need to see the behind the scenes thing that will ultimately be released on YouTube at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I need all of that. That seems unnecessary.
So, but if you're into that culture, if you're like heavily into the Japanese culture and that's something additional that you want, then that $10 is definitely worth it. But for me, I'm not even gonna say I'm not into that culture, but I didn't need that.
All right, there we have it. Greg, any last word for the people out there? It seems like you enjoyed this game.
Definitely. I would definitely say it's a definite pickup. It's a definite buy. What I will take away is, try not to compare this game to other games as much as possible. Try to appreciate what you have in front of you. It's a great game, great mechanics. I ran into just a couple glitches that were not game breaking, so I've been having a great time. And I'm really excited to see what unfolds with our hero and everything that's going on in future battles. And I'm actually hoping that the difficulty picks up. But if not, I'm still enjoying the game.